All right, Chael, we've been through this numerous times leading up to a fight. It's fight week. First things first, weight cut. Do you have much weight to cut for this fight?
Thank God, no. I'm about, I was 211.5 this morning. What's that, 6.5 pounds? I know for my last fight I was 17 pounds over about 12 hours before the weigh-in, 12 or 13 hours before. So, no, it's a tremendous relief. I had dinner last night, breakfast this morning. It's a totally different feel.
The task at hand is a light heavyweight champion of the world who has a 10.5 reach advantage, 5.25 per side. Is it as basic and almost on the surface level, bury the head, you're a southpaw, get this guy on his back where we haven't seen him before?
Yeah, a little bit, you know, and he has a longer reach. How that ever became an advantage, I don't know. Mike Tyson never had a longer, not one opponent did he have a longer reach than. Muhammad Ali was tied with everybody. I'm not really sure where the term advantage came from. I hear that with weight as well, a weight advantage. Look, if you're the fatter guy, that's not to your advantage. You know, that's something that started in grade school. Kids would get their ass kicked, and when they had to go home, it was easier to tell your mom and dad, well, he was bigger than me. You always want to be the smaller guy. You always want to be the craftier and faster guy. You don't want to be the bigger guy. It's not an advantage.
Talk about pace and the importance of pace. I mean, GSP and I talk about it, the VO2 max. If he has to work at your pace, he's going to get tired over 5 rounds. Is that part of the goal here?
Yeah, that's the entire goal. You know, that's all these fights come down to. This is an ass-whipping contest. One of us is tougher than the other one. One of us is going to stop fighting, and one of us isn't. That's what happens every time. Now, the analysts don't get that because they haven't been in there, and they think, no, it's about reach or youth or experience. You're making that up. One guy is tougher than the other guy, and that's what we're going to go find out.
I love the critics that say you have no shot. We've heard it before.
Sure.
I find it comical. But let me give you a flip of the script here. If you could write the Hollywood script that would silence the critics, what is the perfect fight for you on Saturday night?
Well, I would never silence a critic. Whether you're a critic or a supporter, if you're following the sport and you're a fan, you have the right to say anything you want. It doesn't need to be positive. You do not need to stroke my ego. I can assure you it's big enough with or without them. But the bottom line is this. This is an ass-whipping contest. This is a young guy in a young sport. You know, I had to fight Anderson Silva, and he was 12-0 in the UFC. When did 12 become an impressive number? 12 is nothing. But the sport's so young that right now people kind of get lose sight of that. People say things like Jon's never been taken down. Well, Jon's a wrestler. I've seen him get taken down tons of times. Maybe you haven't in the octagon, but I have. So, you know, the reality is this. He's really good. He's the best guy I've ever fought by a lot. But I'm the best guy he's ever fought. He's the champion of the crappiest division in the UFC. I'm the silver medalist, shamefully, but from the best division in the UFC. This is a fight that nobody thought they'd get to see, including myself. I never thought this fight would happen. We're not even in the same weight class. So and fans love that. Fans love super fights. Dana White gets begged for super fights all the time, and he's given them one.
Let me ask you about sacrifice. The sacrifice of mixed martial arts have to make it to the elite level. You know, I talk about you all the time. I talk about Ronda Rousey, putting in the time to get people to understand what the sport's all about. Johnny Bones Jones, 4 daughters. You know, Roy Nelson brought his son here. All these guys have family. Michael Bisping, a guy that you competed against. In essence, his son's birthday's today. Talk about the sacrifices you guys have to make it to that elite level.
Yeah, to get to the level anywhere, and it's not just, you know, MMA fighters, but, you know, really anything you want to do in life, yourself included. You know, you're a top broadcaster out of Canada, and I know a lot of the things you've had to go through. And there's politics. I mean, that's just the way it goes. But, yeah, you got to work hard. You know, I've never been to a party until I was in college. I was never even invited. But I couldn't have gone anyway. I was at practice every Friday night. I had competitions all day Saturday, and Sunday I had chores and had to take care of animals. It's a different deal. But, you know, my dad had a different mindset. We never did anything just to participate. We did it to win a world championship. In any event, in any sport, in any activity, it was always about being the best, and I never knew any different until I became a man myself and look back. I look at others and go, that wasn't, you know, not every household it was about that, but it wasn't mine. And you know, failure's okay. Failure happens all the time, but it's not okay to not try to win.
I took a shot at Michael Bisping, and I've got to take a shot at you. Both you guys are getting dressed up in your blazers, in your nice collars, in your nice shoes. You're coming after my job as an analyst. I can't have this.
Well, you are an awesome analyst, but I will tell you, we're very proud of that show. We have UFC Tonight, the #1 show in America that covers the UFC. It's on Fuel, and I'm sure that you watch. I appreciate that, as we watch yours. And, you know, it's a lot of fun, and the industry's changing. You know, we've pulled the wool over Dana White's eyes so much on this. He lets us get dressed up in a suit, talk fighting, which is what I do all day anyway, and we've convinced him that it's a job. He's willing to pay us to do this. And, you know, for as smart of a guy as he is, I was really amazed that we duped him like that.
I've already fought Kenny Florian once. It lasted approximately 2.5 minutes. He mounted me. Obviously, it wasn't a good idea. I might have to challenge you and Bisping to protect my honor.
I understand that. I will tell you, Kenny is good. Being around Kenny, and I'll tell you who else, Dominic Cruz, they have a mind for this sport that I don't. I do not see.
Yes, you do.
Well, but I don't see it the way they see it. And, I mean, they see it on an incredibly different level and much more sophisticated than I do. I love being around those guys. I've been coached by both of those guys, and really just a great crew. Man, we got a great crew out there. You know Jay Glazer? Jay Glazer is one of the best MMA minds I've been around. I get to work with Rashad, and one of the baddest dudes in the world, Brian Stan, Michael Bisping, like you mentioned. You know, we got a little crew out there, and Jay Glazer, after we wrap the show, goes to a private gym, puts us through a workout. He's good. He's a great coach.
As always, thank you for your time.
As always, thank you.
Team Darkside taking on Jon Jones Saturday night, UFC 159, Prudential Center, Newark, New Jersey.